Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the UFC show. Welcome back. Welcome back. We just had UFC London. Can you believe that? London. And man, was it crazy. And what did I tell you? Fireworks. It was going to be all fireworks. Because guess what? UFC wants to do more stuff in across the pond. They got up and coming stars coming out of there. We got champions out of there. We got Ngannou's a champ. Adesanya, Usman. They're Volkanovski. They're all. They're not from America. Yeah, so of course we want exposure over there. And of course we want to have exciting fights over there. So what do? We have some lopsided matches. But it was still fun. It's fun for casual fans. And we need that. For the sport to stay relevant, we need casual fans as much as you want to see good technical fights, ones that go, grappling for a while. They want to see fun, exciting fights. They want to see fights that are gonna, knock out or just stand there and swang and bang. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta admit, the first the prelims I pretty much slept through because I had some stomach issues again this weekend. So I've been kind of sick back to back weekends, and it's got to be the COVID knocking my immune system down. But it is what it is. We stay hydrated as best as we can, and we go from there. All right. So we started the night off with Mohammed Makaya versus Cody Durden. Now this was a very great showing for Mohammed Makaya. Was his debut. Got a beautiful, I believe it was a guillotine submission on Cody Durden in 58 seconds. It was very impressive. I think I watched the replay of it, but I did not see it live. Then we went to Corey Mckenna versus Elise Reed. This went 3 rounds, split decision, and Elise Reed won that fight. Again, I did not see that fight. I took a little nap, so I see. And then I kind of was half awake, half asleep when I heard Jack Shore versus Talyev. This was actually from what I kind of remember hearing was a very close fight. I think I woke up maybe during the 3rd round of this, and that's when Jack Shore Jack Shore was. I think he must have won the first 2 rounds, and I think Talyev won the 3rd. I can't remember. Like I said, I was not awake during this, so I'm just going by kind of vaguely what I remember. I could have fever dreamed that whole thing. But Jack Shore ended up winning this fight. He was the favorite in this fight. He beat Talyev. So I guess Elise Reed, who was an underdog in the last, she won her so far in the fights. Makaya was a favorite. He won. Elise Reed was the underdog. She won. She won by a split decision. Talyev was the underdog in this one, and Shore was the favorite. He won on that one. Then we had a Nikita Krylov versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig ends up submitting Krylov in the first round. With about a minute left to go. Craig was the underdog on this one. He ended up getting the submission. So hats off to him. Then we had another performance. So it looks like we had a run of performance of the nights from there on out. Shamil Abrard Kemov versus Sergey Pavlich. We didn't have any bets on. I think we only bet Makaya on this on the prelims so far. So Makaya, and we did have Wood, but Wood, his opponent backed out, so he did not have a fight at all on this card, which we were very disappointed in because he was fighting a guy coming in on short notice, and we thought he was going to win by finish. So, my card that I had Makayev finish, Wood finish, Pimblett finish, Tapporia finish, and then Nelson finish. And we went for 4 for 5 on this card, or 3 for 4 on this card, because we dropped Wood, obviously. But Abdurakhimov versus Pavlich. Pavlich won. I'm glad, because I didn't want to say Shamil's last name again. I guess I could have said just Shamil, or Shamil. I don't know. Pavlich, he ended up winning by TKO in the first round. Again, about a minute left in the fight, or in the first round. Then we had Mike Grundy versus Americani. Americani won by first round submission within a minute. So some very good prelim fights. I feel like that was a good lead up to the card. You had your good mix of favorites and underdogs, winning their fights. We had Makaya winning by finish. He won by finish, so that was great. Then we had the beginning of the main card, which was Jay Herbert versus Ilya Tapporia. Now, I know I missed this fight. I was still kind of in that snap thing because I was sick, and I missed his fight. He ended up winning. We had Tapporia winning by finish as well. He was like it was still a pretty large margin to even by finish. He was minus 250 to finish. We still took it. I, of course, parlayed it because I thought, why not? These guys should all win. They all ended up winning. But, obviously, I like to single bet. My picks I always give you are single picks. But you can do with it whatever you want. You can take any information I take and say, hey, these are the picks I really like. If you want to parlay them, or you want maybe parlay 4 out of the 5 picks I give you, 3 out of the 5 picks I give you, or you want to single bet just the ones that you like that I gave you. Take whatever information I give you, and hopefully it gives you an edge somewhere. But Tapporia, he won in the second round by TKO. So yeah, very impressive performance for a up and coming fighter. He fought at lightweight, but I think he'll go back down to featherweight. He's ranked at featherweight. I think he's ranked like 15th at featherweight. So, I think that's where he'll do better. He doesn't really need to stay up at lightweight and fight Patty. I think these guys they had their little tiff, but it's just if they're gonna fight, it'll be maybe down the road when they're both kind of like maybe bigger names. Patty's obviously a big name already, but I think they want to build up Tapporia as well. Give him a better launching point. Maybe it'll sell more on a pay-per-view or something like that. But yeah, so we did bet Tapporia there. Next we had Molly McCann versus Luana Carolina. I did not bet this fight, mainly because Molly's a shorter fighter, but she does just take it to people. She's a she's a I don't want to say a dog. I think she's a very beautiful woman. But she is an absolute just menace. She is she's kind of like she's like a working man's like fighter, like a blue collar fighter. She is someone that fights from from bell to bell, you know. She doesn't give up. And you see that in the spinning back fist that she throws and lands on Carolina. It was just boom. Like she had the like Carolina, she was obviously longer. She she had she just like I don't know, she was like on the outside of her arm, she ducked around and boom, just spinning back elbow, just. And she said that she had practiced that, so I'm glad. I'm like everybody said, when you see a fighter or use something they've used and they practiced, it's always a good time. Next we had Gunnar Nelson. We actually bet on Gunnar Nelson um, to finish Takashi Sato. Didn't get that done. Oh man, we wanted him to submit him. We know the grappling was there. Feel like he should have got this done. Maybe it was cage rust. I don't know, but that's where our one loss came on the night. Um, Patty Pimblett. So this is where I actually woke up and watched the last three fights. So Patty Pimblett was the last person on our our card that we picked. So we had Tapporia, Makaya, and Pimblett, and we had Pimblett by finish here. Pimblett, we he came out there. He was having a good time. The crowd was behind him. Just it was a good time. Molly McCann was going crazy. The just all of the whole crowd. He should have been the main event or co-main event. Obviously not against Kazula Vargas, but I think he should have been main event or so, like co-main. Co-main would have been good. I would not have been upset with Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker being in the spot where Patty Pimblett and Kazula Vargas were. Obviously, probably Arnold Allen and Dan Hooker would probably be a little upset that they were third when they're kind of bigger names, but his Patty Pimblett that's his home country. He's sold out this arena before. He had the whole crowd chanting Patty, oh Patty the baddie, oh Patty the baddie. It was awesome. It was great. How do you not have him be the co-main event? He's the one that called for I think UFC London, or maybe UFC London was gonna already happen and he just said he wanted on the card. I don't know, but this fight was it was crazy because you come in and Kazula Vargas just automatically takes him down. People think that might not know Pimblett don't know that he's a good grappler. A lot of his victories have come from submission, flying arm triangles, etc. Exact same thing happens with Kazula Vargas. He gets the grappling and he gets taken down. He fights off, gets on top, gets his hooks in and gets that rear naked choke in. It was a good look for Patty too. They kind of threw him a bone there, get you a nice win in front of your home crowd. And I know Patty's getting some flack for people saying he's not fighting anybody tough yet, nobody inside the top 15, but he's not making a ton of money right now as someone who just signed with the UFC. So I don't blame him for not wanting to fight someone ranked within the top 15. give him another couple fights outside of the top 15, maybe some guys that are coming up. But give him money. He's obviously an attraction. He is an attraction like Sugar Sean. Sugar Sean is I'm a big fan of O'Malley. They both got the right mindset. They're not going to be here for a long time. They're going to be here for a short time. They need to make money, and at the end of their career, they're not broke. Why should they be? They need to if they can get the easy money right now, and then when the tougher fights come, it should be worth it. It's not the same mindset of the old UFC, and I know a lot of fans are gonna think that's the wrong approach, but these guys gotta make a living too. So, I mean, I can see where their mind is and making money in this fight game, because most you're not in the fight game for a long time. So you got to make your money while you can, and make once you get inside the top 15, you're gonna get you get the money to go with it, and you get the fights that come with it, because they're tougher. If they're tougher fights, you should make more money. And I doubt they're gonna up the money if they're under contract for cheaper. Doesn't make sense. So the next fight was Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker. I didn't make an official bet on this, but I did bet this myself. I did put money on Arnold Allen to win, just money line. This was basically a pick'em. So it was minus 115 for Allen and minus 105 for Hooker. I went with Arnold Allen. I think I got it around 115. I think that's what I got. I think UFC uses DraftKings as their book or their odds maker. So I use a different book. So I went with Arnold Allen. I think I did get somewhere around 115. Maybe it was 110. Maybe they were both 110. I can't remember, because I think it was just pick 'em. And I went with Arnold Allen. I went 1 unit on Allen. He won. He got a knockout. He basically rocked Hooker a couple times in this fight. It could be. I mean, you can't count Hooker out at featherweight, because I think Hooker is a good fighter, and I think that he can bounce back from this. Unlike Cody Garbrandt, who I think he's kind of, his time's coming to an end. I think Hooker, probably this is one of his first fights back, cutting to featherweight. I know that coming in like on a few days' notice, he was, before the fights, I think he was saying he's like 18 over or something like that. So maybe he'll have a better weight cut in his next fight. But he's a good fighter. I mean, he's had some classic battles with some great guys at lightweight. Allen I think he's an underrated fighter. He rocked Hooker a few times, and I think the weight cut probably weakened his chin a little bit. He rocked him, and then he finally got to close the distance on him, and in the fight, it was one of those things. The ref stepped in, said he saw enough of Hooker getting beat. So then the main event was Volkov versus Aspinall, and I know I preach that heavyweights are so unpredictable, but I bet this fight myself, because I was finally awake, and I was like I wasn't feeling the greatest still, but I was like, I gotta watch these fights. And I was like, I bet on Aspinall, simply because I think he was just a well-rounded fighter. And it could have went either way. A punch could have still ended it. But I went with Aspinall. Aspinall got some takedowns in there. He ended up getting that submission. I don't know if it was I don't know if they called it if it was a oh key, it wasn't a key lock, I don't think, or a key lock's up here. I don't think it was I'm trying to think of. I don't know if it's called an Americana or what it is, but he ended up getting a twist in his arm, and Aspinall tapped within the first round. UFC needs to stop making 5 round fights for heavyweights on fight night. It's not a good look. Because they're not gonna go 5 rounds. Most of these guys don't have cardio to go 5 rounds. Derek Lewis even says, "Hell, I don't want to fight no 5 rounds." He's gonna try. He wants out of there. 3 rounds is sometimes long enough for these guys. But yeah, Aspinall won it. I bet on him. I had a pretty good night. I went 5-1 myself, 3-1 officially. So I mean, I don't like giving out picks that I'm unsure of. They're bets that I will make, but you know, you don't have to. I don't want you to go into something thinking that, hey, I used to put out I did do a couple times where I bet the whole card, and just sometimes it's crazy. Because then you get 7-7, or you 7 wins, 7 losses, or sometimes you hit 7 out of 9 fights that you pick. So let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next event. Wish I could look at. I should be able to do it from. Yeah, I can see the replay. I don't want to see the replay. Events. Daukaus versus Blades. This is in Columbus, Ohio. So this is crazy for like a UFC fight. They usually do these in Vegas, but the Midwest, they're bringing it out to the Midwest. I can sit here and say every time that every fight's gonna, but these are good fights too. Some of the fights that I'll tell you, there's some that I thought I want to bet on, but I just don't know. So I really have no opinion on Bruno Souza versus Luis Saldana. This is a fight that's really too close to call, in my opinion. I don't have a thought on this because it's just that close. Dvorak versus Nicolau. I think this is a good fight. I think they say that Nicolau's highly underrated on this one. He is the underdog. Nicolau is plus 110, and Dvorak is favored at minus 130. The reason I'm gonna go, one of my official picks here is gonna be David Dvorak. I have him at minus 135. This obviously says 130 minus 130. I think Dvorak, he's a smart fight IQ guy. So he's gonna break this fight down. He's gonna analyze every part of this. I was watching something else about this, about these fights coming up, and they said that he's a chess player. So you think about this, Dvorak, he's gonna analyze everything that could possibly happen. I don't know if you ever watched someone break down chess, but these guys are thinking 25 moves in advance. They're thinking, they're moving pieces and moving their opponent's pieces, and if I move here, he's gonna take it with this piece. I'm gonna do this, and then this, and this, and this, and this is where this happens. they're thinking best moves for every position. Um, David Dvorak's gonna know. He's gonna know how to fend off Nikolao's grappling. Um, and he's gonna know where to keep the fight for him to win it. That's why I have Dvorak as my first official pick. I have David Dvorak money line -135. I think that's a good bet. I think a smarter fighter that knows what's going to happen before it happens is going to be someone who's going to be successful in a fight. He's also on a long he hasn't lost in a long time either. So it's like he hasn't lost for a reason. He's obviously found something that, works. He knows how to win. He knows how to defeat his opponents. The next fight, Jennifer Maia versus Manon Fiore or Fiorat versus Jennifer Maia. This is they have Manon as the favorite. She's ranked 13th, and Jennifer Maia is ranked 4th. The I the thing about Jennifer Maia is that she has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but hardly any takedowns or anything. She rather keep the fight on her feet, which is really weird to me. Hi, I don't have this in my official picks, but I do have this as a piece of a parlay that I'll give at the end of my picks. But I think I do like Manon Fiorot here, but the only reason I'm not picking this is because there's no sharp way to bet this, because if you go money line, she's -450. If you want to go by method of finish, which I'll just let you know, Jennifer Maia has not been finished in any of her fights. Every fight that she's lost, Maia, it's went to decision. So if you bet for, let me log in here. Oh, come on. I don't care about that error. If you bet for Manon to win by decision, it's -105. So you think, hey, maybe you pick her to win by decision. Okay, that's a good bet. But we said the same thing about Miranda Maverick, right? Remember Miranda Maverick? She goes and submits her opponent. I can't remember who she fought last time. I've been looking through so many fights and everything. It's just Maverick. We had her to win by decision. She goes out and submits her opponent. And actually, I could probably look that up because it's in my notes. Oh, Miranda Maverick versus Sabina Mazo. So I had Miranda to win by decision. I just had to look that up real quick because it was in my notes, and hey, why not? Oh no, now I lost where I'm at. Blades versus Bacchus. There we go. So it's hard to pick a decision when she's such a heavy favored. I looked at Sabina Mazo, and she hadn't been really finished either. She had been finished in her last fight, but that was the only time. I was like, okay, is she going to finish her? Yeah, it's possible, but she hasn't been finished very often. I don't think Miranda Maverick can do it on short notice. Miranda Maverick did it. So at the same time, we go Manon Fior by submission plus 175. Maya hasn't been finished, so it's it's too hard to pick this. It's too close to call. I think Fiorot wins this, but I don't know how she's gonna do it because she could finish Maya. She could take this decision. It could go either way. But the money line on this on for her is too much to bet. It's a trap in my opinion. It is a trap bet because you can't go money line and get value there. It's minus 440. You're not going to get a lot of money back on a bet. You're going to have to bet too big to get very little return. You can't bet a decision because she could finish her. You can't bet a finish because it could go to decision. It's just that's why I would put her in a parlay with the money line. You can put her in a parlay with the money line with other fighters that are, favored. The same thing is with Kizirev. Kizirev, I would like to bet him too to finish, but he is minus 250 on his finish. So let me see just to make sure, because I looked at that line too, and that's why I didn't put him in my. There it is, Kizirev. So for him to win by finish, KO, TKO, DQ, or submission is minus 250. And they say for him to win by decision, which I don't see him winning by decision. It's plus 500. So I don't really want to bet something at minus 250. I mean, I have before. You could bet. I mean, it'd be safe to put him at minus 250, but I threw him in the parlay. This is going to be an unofficial parlay. You don't have to bet it. It's not an official one, but I will give it to you at the end. What else did I miss a fight that I said that I was going to bet on? I think I did in the prelims. I think I went over. Oh, we're still on the prelims. Okay, so Gutierrez and Dana. This fight is it's one of those that's minus 150 plus 130. Something I'm not really interested in betting in. I think it's going to be too close as well. My next fight, I was on my official card. I have Rosa versus Mcmahon. This fight is number 9 in the women's bantamweight versus number 12. So Carol Rosa, I think she's got all the advantage in the world here. She is younger than Sarah Mcmahon. Sarah Mcmahon is 41 years old. Granted, I will give her props for being in the top 10 at 41 years old in the women's division. She's facing a tough opponent in Carol Rosa. I think Rosa is the more rounded fighter. I think she is a more well-rounded fighter than Sarah Mcmahon. That's why I'm taking Rosa to finish her. That's a plus 240. So I think you get good value there on that bet. That's kind of all I had for. I think just the age of McMahon and Rosa being a younger, more well-rounded fighter, probably someone that they're gonna, they're not gonna push McMahon to another title fight. So they're gonna have an up and comer face someone who's a gatekeeper. Then we have Neil Magny versus Max Griffin. Not really interested in this fight either. Magny, I don't know what to say really. He's number 9 in the welterweights. He's the guy that I always beat in UFC 4 when I do my career mode at welterweight. But I didn't have much interest in this fight. I just, a 25-9 record for Magny, 18-8 for Max Griffin, Max Payne Griffin. I mean, if you look at it, who's favored in this fight is Magny. Magny's favorite. He's minus 235, and Griffin is plus 190. Griffin has the advantage in the significant strikes landed per minute. As far as the accuracy too, he does absorb more punches. Magny does not. Their defenses are both pretty decent. When it comes to grappling, Magny has the edge. He gets 2.44 takedowns per 15 minutes. Magny has Griffin has the better takedown accuracy, and he also has the better takedown defense. Both don't, do very good on the submission attempts. If I was gonna pick this fight, I would probably go with Griffin as an underdog. I think that a knockout is possible here, but I'm not gonna make a bet on that. The bets that I am gonna make from here on out are, I'll just kind of go over them and just skip over these other ones. I don't have any interest in Daikisis versus Borshchev. I think Borshchev was on one of the cards that I bet on, like in December or January, maybe. I can't remember. I've heard that name, Borshchev, before. He's 6-1. Most of his wins by knockout. Oh yeah, I do remember this guy. I do. I think he did he knock out? Did he I think he demolished his first opponent, because wasn't his last fight his debut fight? How did I not spell it right? Borshchev. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he had to have. Yeah, he fought Dakota Bush, and he got a TKO in the first round. I remember this fight. I remember that fight. I think he just ran right through him. January 15th. Yeah, it was. I think I did, and I might have. Yeah, this was on the Chikadze and Cater fight. Yeah, Borshchev is tough. That's a tall task. Slava Claus, yeah, that was his Slava Claus. Yeah, he's got a cool nickname. He's favored here, and I can see why. If I was gonna, he's not on my official pick. But if I was gonna pick this fight, I would probably do the bet where you go Borshchev by finish, and you could probably even go just Borshchev by KO, TKO. I can actually look that up on my book real quick, see what that is at. But that would be a good one. It's an unofficial pick by me, but let's see what the odds are. Um, it is Borschev by. Oh, come on, show me more. Show me potato salad. Come on. It doesn't give me by just KO TKO. Fight end. No, I'm not good to the distance. Usually they give me more, but if you go Borschev by KO, TKO, DQ, or submission, it's plus 110. I think you make money on that. It's better than the minus 160, and if he's gonna win, that's how he's gonna win. It's a good one. Next we have Ilya Latifi versus Alexei Olenek. I know Olenek. I kept thinking that who was it? I kept thinking the guy Volkov was the one that almost choked Derek Lewis out, but it was Olenek, and I remember because he had Lewis dead to rights, but Lewis's neck is just so thick that he couldn't do it. But yeah, that guy, I'm pretty sure that's the guy because I think I'm pretty sure he's fought Derek Lewis, and I'm just gonna look up Derek Lewis. He had him on his back, choking him out, and he got too tired because he couldn't finish him. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was a fight night too. So Lewis fought back-to-back fight nights. Awesome. But yeah, Alexei Olenek, he had Lewis on his back, and he had him in that choke, had him in a few different chokes in the first round, could not finish it. It is what it is, but it was it was not. But this fight is just, yeah, I'm not interested in this fight either because guess what? It's heavyweight, and neither of these guys are that entertaining, or it's just no. I don't think it's a heavyweight matchup too. So it's like this could go either way. Obviously, I think, Latifi can win it. I think he looks probably like he's in a little more better shape than Olenek, but he's he's looking pretty thick up top. Who knows where his cardio is at? And we know cardio on Olenek is not that great either. If he can't choke you out, he's not gonna be able to do anything. If you were to pick this fight, I mean, Olenek, just because he has that possibility to choke someone out, he'd be an underdog. But I really don't see a value in that fight, just because I don't think anything is gonna be. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I don't think it'll last past the second round. I don't think either one of them had the gas tank. But I think if it goes to the ground, it's going to have to be Alexei taking him down. The next fight I do have is part of my picks. So we have Askar Askarov versus Kai Kara France. Askarov is the heavy favorite here at minus 350, and Kai Kara France is the underdog at plus 270. So minus 350 for Askarov, plus 270 for Kai Kara France. Askarov is the heavy favorite for a reason. He's from Russia. He wrestles. He is that same. They're all coming from there. They're all the same. They even said that he's good at grappling too. This is the number 2 at this is the number 2. I think it's at bantamweight, right? No, flyweight. Number 2 at flyweight. Yeah, so the thing I like about Askarov is he has tremendous grappling, solid striking. Kaikar France was ranked number 6. He came in recently. He fought, I think he was number 6 when he fought Garbrandt, but he beat a declining Cody Garbrandt. I'm not that impressed with that victory. I don't think Garbrandt's the same fighter he used to be. And that's no like hate on Garbrandt. Had a great run. I just don't think his body can do it anymore. Maybe if he took a break and got, to where his chin could get maybe a little bit better. Who knows? But I definitely think that the Askarov has a good chance in this. I think he's the favorite for a reason. That's why I'm choosing Askarov to finish this fight. I think he's gonna win this fight. He's gonna finish Kaikar France. He can do everything that you want to in submission or in grappling. He can submit you from anywhere. I think he's gonna get a takedown. He's gonna get the back, and he's gonna get a rear naked choke. I think if you've ever grappled or anything, I think a rear naked choke is about as natural of a submission as you get, because it just kind of happens. You just know what to do. But so official pick Askarov plus 225 for finish. It might change by the time fights come around. The next fight, we have Matt Brown versus Bryan Barberena. This is straight up pick 'em. It's minus 110 on both sides. That's why I don't have any interest in this fight. Matt Brown is older. Bryan Barberena has all kinds of different issues with him. Both of them, their wins, majority of them are by KO. Barberena has the more significant strikes landed per minute. He also absorbs a lot though too. The clear grappling advantage goes to Matt Brown here. He is a wrestler. I think, it's a straight pick 'em, but if Matt Brown gets this to the ground, I know he is the grappling coach at America's Top Team. We found that out through Jorge and Colby's, little ordeal and their I can't remember what UFC calls it, total access or all access. We learned that through that little beef that Matt Brown is the coach, the wrestling coach, and all that. I mean, Matt Brown maybe is who you would pick with the edge there, but maybe Barberena with the volume knocks out Matt Brown. I don't think that's there's a good, I don't think you can really pick a winner there. So my next fight, women's flyweight, Joanna Wood versus Alexa Grasso. Number 7 is Joanna Wood, and then number 9, Grasso. This is the co-main event. We do have official pick on this one. I think that on this fight, you go with Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso, the power in this fight is going to come from her hands. We know it don't come from Wood. She does have some finishes. Both of them are going mainly to decision. Wood does put up some volume, but I think mainly it's going to be the power is going to come from Alexa Grasso. I don't think that this fight's going to end in a finish, though. I think Grasso, she's going to have to use her power shots, and she's going to have to defend takedowns from Wood. I think that's how she wins this fight. I'm taking Grasso money line. I don't like the minus 240, but it's not too bad. We have bet on a bigger line. We have bet Adesanya at minus 280. That was a good bet because, Adesanya took Whitaker all 5 rounds. Did I think that I knew that Adesanya had the possibility to finish Whitaker? He finished him the first fight. The second fight I was like, I don't know. Might be a little bit better fight. Adesanya, I was like, gotta play it safe. It's the same with this fight. Both women, their preferred victory is by, finish. 69% finish by decision for Grasso and 60% finish by decision by Wood. So, I clicked into I don't want to learn about Alexa Grasso. I already know enough about her. But yeah, Grasso, I think she's a younger fighter, someone that they probably will push more into, newer blood into the flyweights. Someone's got to fight. Someone new has to fight Shevchenko. So, one of these girls, either one is going to get probably put into the top 5, top 6. Whoever wins this is going to be like 5 or 6. So obviously if Wood wins it, maybe she goes to 4. If Alexa wins, she goes to 5 or 6. But I think honestly Grasso is probably someone that they might want to get in there and get against Shevchenko. So the main event, I'm gonna surprise you guys. I have an official pick on this, and it is part of my official picks. Heavyweights. Anything can happen, right? Anything. Ask Curtis Blades about anything can happen. Just killing Derek Lewis, right? Killing Derek Lewis. And guess what happens? 3rd round, you think Derek Lewis is dead? Basically, he is. But summons the power of God and knocks Curtis Blades out. Chris Daukaus got knocked out by Derek Lewis. I think it was 1st round. The thing is with this fight, I'm saying Blades, he's going to have to use his takedowns to get Daukaus down. Like I said, their common opponent, Derek Lewis, that's the one that I can think of. I know maybe they have more common opponents, but I just, between the two fights, I was more impressed with Lewis's fight against, or I was more impressed with Blades' win over. I was more impressed with Blades' win over, or Derek, or Blades' loss to Derek Lewis than I was of Daukaus' win over. It was in round 1. So Blades took some shots from Lewis and, got takedowns and stuff and was winning the fight. In a rematch against Lewis, I think, Blades wins. A rematch with Dawkins and Lewis wins again. I mean, and that's what I think happens here. Blades is going to get takedowns on Dawkins, and he's going to finish this in round 2 or 3. It's going to be a finish. Whether he's wore Dawkins down enough or whatever. But it's going to end by finish, and then Blades is going to finish it. All right, guys. That's my official picks for this are, if you need to write them down, but they'll be on Saturday. They will be on Twitter. They'll be on our Hashmark Instagram. And then we also have Discord, which I think the Discord link will be down below in the YouTube video. It'll be on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'll actually remember to do them this Saturday because, like I said, I was sick Saturday and did not want to do anything but sleep. And plus, it was an early card, so actually, I forgot in the morning too. I went to work and didn't feel good, but yeah, you'll have them every major social media platform out there. You'll have Twitter. We don't have Facebook. Who uses Facebook? I have Facebook. I don't even really use it. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and then we'll have. I'm sure we'll have a channel for MMA on our Discord eventually, but it's not right now. There's not a lot of people clamoring to get stuff on Discord, but it's growing. But yeah, my official picks are Dvorak moneyline, Rosa by finish plus 240, Grasso moneyline minus 240, Askarov finish plus 225, Blades by finish minus 120. And then my unofficial parlay. This parlay, if you put it together, I have the odds of plus 111. So plus 111, plus 111. We have Fiorot moneyline, Kiserev moneyline, and Rosa moneyline. You put that parlay together, I think that's a good parlay. Plus 111. I've got it booked. But you do what you want. Maybe you replace one of the fighters that I have on here. Do what you want. But that's my time. Much love. I had a lot better time doing this podcast than I did last week, but I love you guys. I'll see you next week for the review and our picks for the next week. Peace.